Hello. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. I sound gross, but this will be a video going over the pros of and cons of watching anime to help learn Japanese as a language. So, starting this off, I'll go with the pro of it's enjoyable. And this is kind of a big one because people often say, not even say, it's like a known thing that you can soak in information, you can learn better when you're having fun. So it can, just watching it and enjoying what you're watching can help you pick up new words and phrases. But on a downside of the words and phrases, a con, is mistranslations, which I believe are more common in like comedy anime, because a joke written for the Japanese language might not land in English, so they might have to reword it in the subtitles. And so if you're watching a comedy, it might not actually translate properly, and you might have a word that you think means this, but it actually doesn't because a phrase was changed around to sound better in subtitles. An example of this is Naruto's catchphrase. He says, "Datebayo," which isn't actually a word in Japanese. It's kind of a just a mix of grammar particles, half words. It's kind of like when someone ends an English sentence with and I believe the translation in the subtitles for the anime, it translates it to believe it, which is so if you go to Japan, saying that at the end of all your sentences, it might not land with some people, others will think you're weird. But as long as you're careful with it, you should be fine. Just you can also look up an anime beforehand, see if it's got if it has a notoriously bad translation. You should be able to find that out very quickly. It'll probably be one of the top few results. And another pro is similar to immersion. It's just kind of there. So I'll just write immersive. Very hard to write with a mouse. But it's the fundamental idea of immersion is that kind of when a baby's born, they don't know any language, and just by hearing people speaking it a lot, they'll slowly pick up the words and their meanings in different contexts. And by having anime on, even while you just do something else, you can just have it on your second monitor. You can pick up just some stuff on while not focusing, and it will keep that, the first point, that enjoyable aspect. So it can just be a good way to passively pick up some words. But one thing with watching it too much is there's something called the anime accent, which Japanese people will sometimes pick up on, because when watching an English kids show, they don't really talk like actual people do. So if all your understanding of the Japanese language, if like pretty much all the Japanese you hear and experience is from anime, you'll probably end up mispronouncing a lot of words, speaking strangely, and the more people know the language, the more apparent it kind of gets. I use ChatGPT because it's the quickest way to get what I was looking for, but the anime accent is fortunately a thing, and people do pick up speech patterns and just bad habits, I guess you could say. Which can, like I said, it'll lead to Japanese people being confused or uncomfortable. It's something that people need to unteach. Yeah, it's just not a good habit to pick up on. So if you are watching anime quite a bit, make sure you, I guess, just listen to actual speakers of the language in a normal format and try to, just spend a few minutes a day copying that, because you really don't want to unnecessarily pick up an easily avoidable bad habit. But just to end off, summarize, anime can be a really good way of learning the language, as long as you use it as a tool and not your sole source of learning. Some just tips would be using slice of life anime, which is kind of just, the more realistic ones where they just talk like a little bit more like people. There's not the really loud villains most of the time. It's still a bit exaggerated, but it's better. It's got more situations that you'll find in real life as well. So you'll be able to get a bit of context for when to use a word and what word to use. And just as long as you, or I guess, don't copy a villain in the anime, then you will already be doing a lot better than a lot of people. Because the villains are usually the very over the top, loud characters, and that's probably the exact worst way that you can learn. But I hope this helped.